Okay, I think that's working. Hello everyone. I had no idea. Things have changed. Things have gotten worse. But I think they're all fixed up again. Hey Franny. Hey Holy Spokes. Alright, let me just sort some things out for a moment. Okay, so testing, 1 2 1 2. Alright, microphone's good. What's the music sound like? Doesn't appear to be any music. What time is it? I don't want to miss my race. Well, I got time. Alright, let's sign in. I was going to be using a different camera today, but while I was setting it up, it wasn't working properly. Let me just turn down my camera, old camera, my old phone. Let me just turn that down just a touch. There we go, it's not so bright. I need to turn you just a touch. It's lighten me up. Hope it doesn't fall over now. Okay, so I'm not too far forward. Where's my event? How many people have signed up? There's 3 of us. I've got 7 bots, I think, maybe more. What's it say? Yeah, 7 bots. So if only 3 of us turn up, at least you got 4 bots. Because I'm hesitant to add. Like I could do a field of 50, so that if only 3 of us turn up, that's fine. But then it kind of defeats the purpose of having these races. I'm trying to get people regularly getting into them. If it just turns into a group ride, Gunner smashing us. Alright, let's see if I can fix the sound. Fix the sound. Okay, so let's chat. What's the music playing on? Alright, so the music's coming through now. I think I might need to turn it down just a touch. I think that's usually about right. It's always hard to tell because you can't hear what YouTube hears. You can adjust things so you can hear what roughly it sounds like. You can't hear exactly. Alrightio, so let's go back to my other scene. Okay, adjust this camera up a little bit. So why is the chat there? I turned the chat off. I've got to rebuild this thing, but at least I fixed my other chat. That's kind of alright, isn't it? I can make it a little bit bigger. That'll be fine. Let's race. No, not yet. Pace partner. Let's just stick with Anna Amber. And make sure I've got this. So first I've got to use this, Amp Plus. Otherwise I don't get any resistance changing. Okay, so got to click into IndieVELO, otherwise nothing happens when I press that. Alright, am I getting resistance? Okay. It's kind of annoying, but it's the only way I can work around getting myself resistance on Bluetooth. Now I'm going to make sure I'm in Bluetooth so I don't get booted from main event again. Alright. There we go, we got resistance. Alright, so how's everyone today? I've got 3 minutes till the pen closes. Get your typing in quick. I've really got a... I haven't got my oh damn Elgato. Where are you? I don't want you there. Why did you pop up? And my cam's all wrong again. Alright, main cam. Oh, this is race screen too, that's why. Forget that one. Alright. I got far too many scenes set up at the moment. I don't think IndieVELO is showing the full screen, is it? Let me just change the user interface. Okay, now does that show everything? It still misses out the bottom section. Down here, it's just still missing. Damn ABS. Where is it? It's actually Zwift, but it's not. Get me transform. I don't want to fit to screen though. Alright, let's try something else. I'll just wait. Give me a second. Bot. Give me a chance. See, it's not giving me all of IndieVELO screen. Why? Okay, I tried to... Yeah, I might as well join. Hopefully, I don't know what happens when you join and you've got the... and you've just been doing the break. Anyway, 2 minutes to go. Let's change back to full screen again. And it's changed to okay, so it's that'll do. Maybe lower. Just doesn't get me. Let me see the very bottom of the screen. Why let me see the bottom? Figure it out later on. Another stream, another day. Can't even type. Let's see if it says anything about neutral. I know George was talking about adding a neutral. Well, I've got to try and see if I can fix my trainer. Give me a second. Give me a second to find the camera. Be back in a second. Just in time. Feels like a Pete stream. G'day, Gunner. I have to just tighten my trainer down. That's right, it's neutral start. What am I doing riding like an idiot? Did I actually type neutral? hardest part, doing neutral when you're not paying attention. So what you got to do is not suddenly power on as you get to the back. So I've got to really take it easy. We've got a couple of bots. Well, there's neutral starts until the race actually starts. I haven't had a chance. I've been trying to do some more things on my stream. I haven't had a chance to play with it. I keep messing more things up. I still got the... Is it still working? It still works. That's good. Alright. So we've got strong wind on today. Well, I'm not changing gears because I'm in the OBS. There we go. I'll show you my settings whilst these are all quiet. So I run, oh, no wonder I've been messing up. Turn slope fell off. There we go. That's why it kind of felt weird going up that hill. Oh, gunning, we're getting dropped. Alright, ease up now. It's a tailwind, that's why there's a... Instead of just doing 130 watts, we've got to actually put out some effort. Don't need to rush in yet because... Alright, here we go. I'm not going to smash it at the start like I did last week because I think it caught people up by surprise. Gunner's going to smash it though. Alright. Already dropped a pace spot. Oh, it's the actual pace spot. Fan's working. Yep. Got gunner on the front, might as well use the fan. I'm on the wrong side of the group. That's alright, once we go around this corner the wind's going to be on the other side. So I'll be in the right spot. Full draft now. Nathan's made a bust for it. It's a massive headwind though. I think it's just Nathan, Gunner and I. Should be get plenty of draft about now, given it's a massive headwind. Nathan's steering across the road. There goes a bot. Okay, watching my speed, I'm catching it. 2 kilometers an hour faster. Not slower than it now. Where's Gunner? Oh, there he is. Those lines from indicating the wind speed. I don't want to drop him, I need him to work. Oh, corner. We've got 23 seconds on your Gunner. Sorry, Sebastian. This is me working hard. Gotta try and stay away from Gunner. Try and recover and then give the body a bit of a rest. So we've got 3 humans, I think. Alright, better dig in now. There'll be a braking zone in a second. Not much though, especially this headwind. In fact, no braking zone at all with this headwind. Alright, we'll pop over the top. Remember, there's a chance to not pedal back there. Made a bit of time on Gunner through that section. Still a lot of laps to go though. Get another braking zone, then back into the headwind. chance to rest the legs here. I forgot to let Whitney know. She said, tell me before you start your stream. Oh God, that hurt. I think this is your bot, Gunner. Oh, I can get a rest down here. I swear the bot doesn't pedal through here. There we go, see? Take the front bot. Oh jeez. I thought he was going to smash it in. However, the bot's done. Gotta try and call Whitney. Yeah, one white sock, one black sock. So I can tell which leg's which, Franny. I'm trying to, Whitney's got a class in, what time is it? 12 minutes. And she wanted me to make sure she's not asleep before my stream. Hey, no. So I've got her phone, but I don't have her. So I'm trying to work out how to send a message to her other phone. Problem is, all her messages are to me, not to herself in our history. We've got a group chat. I'll try calling that. I'll quickly jump off after the race. I'll come back, just jump off and be back. Just to ensure she's awake. If I can't work out how to contact her. Try WhatsApp again. What's happened, Gunner? You've dropped back to the next group. Lucienne's doing all the work for me. No. We've got strong headwind, or strong winds. So there's a strong headwind section. I think I'm following the strongest bot. This is your bot, I think, Gunner, because it's single pen. There's 3 humans and 4 bots. So I'm guessing each bot is assigned to each human ability pretty much. That's why I made sure I followed this attack, because I ain't shutting it down. Had a bit of a rest now, so I can keep an eye on the gap. Got a minute though. See if I can get the tuck down here. Lost the draft though, didn't I? Alright, roll through. Keep that speed going. But we'll catch up just as we're braking. Alright, braking zone coming up. Bot's getting weaker and weaker on those attacks. I don't want to go by myself from this distance. Make the bot hit the front. I might have to pull the pin. I've got a minute 21. If I jump off, go and make sure Whitney's getting ready for class, get back on. Should be able to get back in a minute. I have to do that, I think. Rightio. Here we go. Stream. I'll be back. Sacrificing a win. Rightio, I'm back. Whitney was ready for class. Wasted it. What have I got? 22 seconds. Alright, 22 seconds to... Have I been lapped? Yeah, exactly, Zwitter. Swifty Zwitter. I use that tailwind to my advantage there. I wasn't watching, but I assume I was still coasting along quite quick. If you attack into the wind with the aero position, you're so much more aerodynamic than someone sitting up. Oh, lost the draft. That's what I like about the wind. So much. The same. That's right. Let me get my breath back. Plays a much bigger dynamic, or makes it much more dynamic on the course. When you're talking about the map, Zwifter, I was thinking I never really look at the map on Zwift or in IndieVELO, but I realised I look at the map for the headwinds and the braking corners, like this one coming up. There's 0 point putting a big dig in just here. There's going to be a massive tailwind, headwind, and braking just here. The bot does kick out of here, but it's about a 3-second effort. Kind of hard to show the dynamics of the pack, but the good thing about IndieVELO is it can steer, but only if you're allowed to. So you can steer left and right here because there's no one blocking the way, and then when you neutralize the steering, it puts you in sort of the best spot, so you don't need to steer. But when you've got a bigger group, you can use steering to find a gap to punch through the group, because there's collisions in IndieVELO, a bit like the pack dynamics in Zwift at the moment, but IndieVELO is even more so. If there's no gap to punch through, you need to pay a lot more, but the price is a lot higher to get through the group, which is why what you'll find is a lot of people trying to get through the group, and then when they do get the group, instead of just sitting on the front, they just kick away from the group, because to punch through the group you have to be doing far more power. So once you do hit the front, you just take off down the road. Unless you steer around the group. If you steer around the group, you can cruise past them with only a little bit more power than the front riders. But of course, if it means you steer out of the wind, then you've got to put a lot more effort to get to the front if there's a long line of riders. So if you're fighting for second wheel in the group, you do burn up a lot of energy, but it means there's more likely to be a gap if you can punch it. If you sit in the back, it's more like real life. If there's no gaps to go through, you often end up missing the split. Unless you've got a lot of energy to burn. I'll try and demonstrate it again. Yeah, I'll demonstrate it after this race, Swifty. I'll put a big group of 50 riders. You can still punch it to the front, but you just got to use a lot of energy. So if you're racing against humans, it's a lot more dangerous. If someone makes an attack off the front, and a couple others follow, unless you're stronger than them, you're not gonna get in the group. One of the things I do every single race with the bots at the moment is not let that first attack go away. Just jump across to that first bot and then just let them ride so that you can grab the next wheel that comes through. This isn't a race, this is ranked racing, so the bots aren't fully aggressive. If you do unranked, you can do aggressive bots. Last lap. Massive headwind going into the finish. I'm assuming this is a bot. It'd be funny if it's not. Pretty certain it was Nathan, Gunner and I signed up. Yeah, exactly. In Zwift, you want to be at the back. You can see what's happening. You can see the riders punching it through, so you got more warning. Plus, you get 3 seconds of free draft, maybe more. All right. The bot always goes hard down this hill. Might just be maybe a sook. Could be a heavy bot. One bad thing about the bots is generally in the breakaway the bot's got no sprint. If you're back in the pack, the bots have got the big sprints, not the breakaway ones. Massive headwind into the finish. See if I not mess up the timing. I'd easily win if I go to this corner as hard as I can. But I want to just see what the bot does in the last 400 metres. Oh, train stopped. What's the bot doing? 300 metres to go, bot. Alright. Alright, got no sprint. You done? That's generally the way. The breakaway bots, they're done. You can tell where I had a break. Funny thing is, I lost my heart rate monitor. I didn't get booted. I didn't even think about that. I wonder if I just didn't reach the threshold. Would have been hilarious. I didn't even think about losing my heart rate monitor sensor. Get booted. It was up here, I think. Look back in the stream. You have your laps at the bottom, and then the distance goes up here. You just got to ride it a couple of times, and then you'll get used to it. No, it's because it seems a picky thing to get booted. Well, I think you can get booted for it, but I always think that if I could choose just trainer, that's what I'd have. I'd have trainer, don't worry about heart rate, because I mean, you can be the fat old, I shouldn't say fat old, but you can be unfit as hell and look like you're doing an effort even if you're not doing that effort. Cheers, Whitty. I caught up a little bit of your stream. It made me laugh this morning when I tuned in. You guys are all chatting away. I was like, you guys are live. I wasn't watching live though, so I didn't get to have the joy of typing that in the chat. At least you didn't say anything that shouldn't be aired. Yeah, imagine if you're getting up Nathan. It was so funny when Nathan realised his face when he's like, Oh shit. And then just like quickly turned it off. Back to 3 minutes 30. All right, I'll set up another race with the bots. Might as well take it without the all races finished. All right, where's my exit button? Android. Okay. Set new records today. Distance, but no. Okay, so let's go events. I'll do an unranked event so I can set aggressive bots. Bot bash. Bonash. That'll do. Bot Bonash. Bonash bot. It's kind of annoying you gotta enter those things. 9, what time is it? 9:13. You gotta set it 5 minutes. So we'll do 20. So I can give myself a bit of time. Not doing a grand day out. Let's see. No, definitely not doing that. Loop the loop. Okay, distance is 25 kilometers. Nah, bugger that. Let's put it as 15 kilometers, not 150. Distance laps 0. Distance. Is it in? Is it 150 kilometers or 150 meters? Okay, 15 kilometers. Let's put burrito in there. Heavy wind, strong, neutral zone. I always want neutral. That way I have to bash it out of the gates. Unranked, aggressive bots. Field size. Where's the field size? Oh, there we go. 50 bots. Can I do 100? 1,000? Can you do 1,000? Surely not. I don't think you can do 1,000, but let's put 1,000. No requirements. You don't need to worry about that. Access code. I'll just let everyone do this one. You want to jump into this, anyone? I'll give it a few more minutes in case anyone else wants to jump in with 1,000 bots. Come on, get to the top. 9:25. Okay. No requirements. You can cheat if you want, everyone. Okay. I better join it. That's a weird thing. You create the event, but you don't join it automatically. Where is it? Unranked. Bot Banash. Sign up. What does it say about it? Doesn't really say anything, does it? Okay, let's do a bit of a pace. Whoa. Let's go to... I don't know how to get rid of the chat. it's not in my scene. I think it's when I created the scene. I've really got to... Anyone who's actually reading this, getting dropped by the bot. Keep pressing ABS and losing my gears. So anyone who's watching this, do they want me to do a video about how I set up my OBS and then get it all wrong? No, I'll do a video about how I set up my OBS so you can do some things which probably don't work anymore. Let's have a look. Yeah, it doesn't. You can do things like this. So I haven't got the chat up here. If I just disable the chat, doesn't show it. So I've spent far too much time working out how to do things on OBS. When I pay attention to it, I can get things done. Problem is I change a lot of settings and don't go back, make sure it doesn't affect other things. And the worst thing is, because I use my phone as my camera's always at a different position every time, so I make it straight, but then when I go to this camera, I'm slightly crooked. This is by far my favourite one, but people probably don't really like it. I like this camera. Well, this scene. I've made it blurry. I can turn the blur off. It was just for the getting ready scene, so you don't see the blur. Ah, come on. There we go. At least my camera's not looking at the drill like it usually is when I do face tracking. Don't know why it thinks my face looks like a drill. Let's go back to cheers, Lee. I try and make it good. Thing is, I can't ride as much as I used to, just purely because it's unfair on Whitney for me to be riding 10-15 hours a week nowadays. So instead of getting fitter, I just mess about with OBS, because the good thing is I can stuff around on my computer doing video edits and things whilst just sitting in the lounge room with her. It's a bit less. I mean, the good thing about riding indoors on Zwift and IndieVELO is I'm home. I'm not heading off for a 3 or 4 hour ride. At least, even if I go outdoors for an hour ride, at least when I'm home she can come in to the garage and come get me, but she does like me spending time in the lounge room. I've got my gaming PC out here and another PC set up in the lounge room, so I can just remote log in, access everything. Only bad thing is I only got one screen in the lounge room. I've got 2 screens out here, so if I want to make sure everything in ABS is working properly, I do have to come out to the shed. Speaking of training, Lee, you must be doing a lot of riding. I haven't caught up with Phil's video yet. You guys out riding those things that go up and down hills that you call roads. There's a big difference too where you live and I do for riding. Australia's a great place to ride if you're in the mountains, but being in the middle of Melbourne CBD with a pretty damn large population and large surface, large city area, it does take a long time to actually get out of the city. so the best places to ride close by are generally just the same loops over and over again. The best hills to ride, unfortunately for me, there's a whole lot of cycling hating community between there and here to get through. I swear IndieVELO's changed the graphics just slightly at some stage. Things just seem rounder on the rider. Seems slightly less wooden in the bum. I wouldn't say it's as good as Zwift, but I remember watching IndieVELO and just having to ignore the rider as they're pedaling because it just looked so awful. Not as bad as RGT, actually it probably was as bad as RGT. But I swear now, it's not as good as Zwift, but it doesn't, I'm not put off by it anymore. I think maybe I just got used to it. When's the pen close? 1 minute 20. Okay. Ready for the Banash join. I didn't check to see who else is in the pen. You can't do it while you're actually in the pen, but it does list, let's see, more info. Oh, there we go. Just me. What's my rating? I'm on gold now. Moving up in the range. Must be because I beat you, Gunner. So I remember when was it? Thursday, one of your crew, Zwifter if you're still watching, the Kaboom races, asked about if the predicted result ranking is what's on the right. So when you'll see shortly after about 26 seconds on the right here, there'll be a list of riders. Now that's apparently the predicted result of the race, based on something. How's my little burrito going there, bouncing back and forth? I've got to make myself a little avatar and have me getting chased by the burrito and then chasing the burrito. That's the other thing too I can show in the video, so I can have myself being chased and then turning around and coming back and I'll chase after the burrito. Okay, so this up here is, I'm predicted to come 16th. I have found though that if you're efficient, you belie your ranking. So even though the game knows my fitness pretty well, but it doesn't, I usually win the races because it's not what you got, it's what you do with it. And the bots aren't, but this is the first time I raced the aggressive bots though, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. How many entrants are there? 52, so not 1,000. Okay, so it's neutral start. I forgot to see what I did for neutral, whether it was speed or what. Might end up being like 50 kilometers an hour. Jesus Christ. It's not the usual 150 watt neutral that I'd set. I think it's speed based as well. Alright, there's the end of the neutral just down there. So this is what I was talking about with Rob, is that at the moment I can get a great draft at the back. But if there's a breakaway at the front, it's a little bit more difficult to get through, especially when you've got braking zones. So I can push 320 watts here. Oh, another braking zone. Oh. I'm not really busting through the group. Whereas I can just ease up and be in the same spot. So you can waste a lot of energy in IndieVelo if you don't pay attention. You can move up pretty quickly in these corners though, as it strings out. So you want to find a gap. Try and go left here. Go right if I can. Something I can't go right. Follow this guy. There's already 3 rides off the front, 4 rides off the front. Little rest. Join this group. Thanks, Gunner. There goes another attack. Certainly are aggressive. Cover a bit here in the draft. Keep over pressing on the pedals. Okay. So we got quite a few ahead. Still quite a bit of headwind section. Okay. 17 seconds. And close that gap. Thanks for the lift, Beto. Let him go. Very flattish ball, very flattish, but very windy. 20 km/h wind here. Wait for the tailwind. When there's a tailwind, there's not much draft. Alright, 14 seconds to the leader. So it's like in watching Grand Tour or any other on cycling on TV. You have tailwinds. Let's get left. I'll just push on through here while I got the momentum. Help the group. So that's what you can do with steering. Just go around them. Keep the momentum up. Got a couple of other riders trying to come across. Keep an eye on them. That closing speeds, there's one doing 54 kilometers an hour. 51 kilometers an hour. Damn hill. Forgot about this one. Give him a bit of a draft, just sit. We're out of water. Here we go. Rider behind's got 74 kilometers an hour speed. It's a braking zone just here. Just got to get near him. Didn't want to lose his wheel. One more hill to go. Massive headwind into this hill. Six-second gap. Little rest and I'll push on again. See how it's putting me out to the far left of the rider? There's a massive headwind from the right. Tail, I mean crosswind from the right. So I'll have to draft completely now. Go back to the middle. There we go. 6 seconds. One more effort. 8 seconds now. I'm going slightly faster. Massive headwind into the finish, I think. So to steer then, to get the better draft. Auto draft wasn't giving it to me. Alright, they've got a bit of speed now. No more water. Watch it doesn't get below 6 seconds. Alright, here we go. A little effort here. Make him work for it. Alright, safe for a second. Always the same with the butts and the breakaway. So you can see the powers, the max powers for the breakaway riders is bugger all. Then you get down to the group, there's like 1300, 1200, 1500, 1100. But if they don't make the breakaway, they don't get you. So if you don't make the breakaway, it's a hard sprint. If you do make the breakaway, you can use the bots. Yeah, that's a beginner's mistake. Boring. You Zwift punishes you if you go up over a climb first and the group's behind you. That's why you see all the good riders will just ease up over the climb. You get the fastest through sector and FAL points when you ease up, because you'll get smashed by the group as they fly past down the hill. It's like Zwift 101, Paul. You don't ride up by yourself. And ZRL punishes. That's why they changed the rules this year. That's why I stopped doing ZRL. It makes boring racing because there's no reason to attack off the front. You get punished for being in a breakaway because you can't get fastest through sector times. The only courses that are good are when you're doing 4 or 5 laps of the same course. Then the races are so much harder. But single lap races are boring as hell on ZRL. If they do the same again next season, not the summer season, it'll be a joke. They will know this. They know in the summer series to get rid of FTS points. They've still got them, but they understand now, I think, that FTS does not, FTL, fastest through sector, do not make better racing. And to make things inclusive for those off the back, they actually make it far less inclusive, because all it means is the big sprinters just cruise along, don't bother racing, they just sit in, ease up, and then get all the points at the fastest through sector whilst getting dropped. There's nothing inclusive about that. I've been saying it for years. That's why I've given up on WTRL. They don't understand racing. They know how to set up things badly, incorrectly, and make promises they can't keep, but they don't understand racing. One of the reasons why you got off the front 15 seconds and they got hammered, because all the strong riders aren't chasing after you, they're just staying in the group, and then once the group starts rolling, then they can hammer past you. That's what I would have done if I saw you. If I saw a single lone rider off the front by 15 seconds, I'd let him get that gap and then massively ramp the speed as we approach you so that the pack zoom past and you can't get on. You gotta learn that, Paul. Don't drive the front, wheel suck. It's boring as hell, but take your race ZRL. You don't hurt anyone by riding off the front. You're riding on the front, you're just hurting yourself. Everyone else just sits in the wheels and has a great old time. A lot of people don't realise that about Zwifters. You're not hurting anyone riding at the front on the flat. Not unless you're an A+ rider and you've got B-cat riders with you. But if you've got all the same, but C-cats or B-cats, everyone's similar physiology, then if you're sitting on the front, you're working so much harder. Just like, God, what's his name? Should remember it now. I've lost all my blood from my brain. Chris Horner says, what does he say to his son? He says to his son, what do I say about riding on the front? Then his son says, you're working harder than everyone else. Something to that effect. Don't ride on the front unless you have to. Get off the front. Yeah, good. I don't want to bag out ZRL. People can race ZRL, but I find there's nothing interesting about ZRL. I think a lot of people are waking up to that. That's why the summer series is so different. But the problem is, who the hell's going to ride ZRL in summertime in Europe? You've got FRR, you've got the Chasing series, you've got IndieVELO, you've got My Whoosh. My Whoosh is paying you good money if you race on it. Plus IndieVELO, I subscribe to IndieVELO just because I want to see what all the perks are to it. Plus I've cancelled my subscription to Zwift, so I just swap over the money I was going to Zwift to IndieVELO. Because people say, oh, if you don't want to ride ZRL, ask for your money back, making the point that it's free. But the reality is, my subscription pays for everything that works on ZRL. Might not be all of it, but ZRL get funding from Zwift. Where does Zwift get its funding from? My subscription. So it's a load of crap that ZRL, we aren't paying ZRL for the events. Of course we're paying ZRL for the events. So if I don't like those events, I'm not going to pay for them. Is it 100 miles flat, or is it 100 miles with 3,000, 4,000 meters of elevation gain? Paul. And I suppose the biggest thing about elevation gain is a massive difference between doing a 1,000 meter climb at 5%, especially if you've got a nice forest with trees surrounding it so you don't have any wind. Or those bloody climbs that I see all my burrito mates doing in England, where you're riding along and all of a sudden you get met by a bloody 18% grade. That cooks your legs in no time compared to a 5% 1,000 metres. Is it steady, or is it like bloody Nick Brownbill does? Finds the nearest bit of paved goat track and decides to do 50 RPM up it. That's what I like about IndieVELO. This section here, if you're ever racing it, always go to left. You lose out slightly because you don't get that little launch down here. If you go right, you go down a hill, build up some momentum. But the thing is, you telegraph your move, sort of, because you go ahead of the group, so the group to the left here can keep an eye on you. What I do is I keep an eye on the group to the right. Once I get to about here, I just see where they are. It's hard to see probably. See where the mouse is. If they're about here, I'm about even with them. If they're out here, then I've already got to put the afterburners on. But what you're looking for is when you come through this section, you actually go down a hill. They go up a hill on the right. So they lose a little bit of speed. You gain a little bit of speed. And what it does is it gives you a beautiful launching pad, because you gain a lot of speed down this hill. Grab their draft, and then you launch it past them. You got 10 kilometers an hour faster than them. They ain't catching you. See what I mean? 5% downhill. Whooshka. You take off here through their draft, and off you go. Don't everyone do that if you're racing against me, because we'll all go left there. What's a steep climb though, Paul? Everyone's got a different idea of steep climb. 10%, that's steep around here. But 10%, even if you're quite bulky like me, unfit, you can just whack it in the 34, 28, grovel your way up it. But if it's like 15%, that's the sort of thing that ruins your day. Get off and have to scratch your brand new cycling shoes walking up the hill. I really wish I had a Garmin, because I don't think Wahoo existed back when I went to Morocco and did mountain bike riding in the Atlas Mountains, because there were some pretty damn steep pitches where I worked out getting off and walking was far faster and more efficient than being in the very lowest gear in the mountain bike, whatever the hell that was, 28, 42 or whatever it was. There's no point doing 400 watts if you're doing 3 kilometers an hour. Are you actually going to do the 312 though, Paul? Why do you want to do the Mallorca event though, like in terms of specifically? Is it just because you want to knock it off the bucket list, or is it because it's a course that you want to do? I did a few events a few years ago now, before I broke my... Did I break my collarbone after or before? I can't remember now. Maybe it was before. I do blame the concussion. I do blame the concussion on my memory back then. But one of the things I hated is doing a Fondo event with a mass start. It's one thing to do a club race or a professional race, well, not professional, an actual race where you've got to have a racing license and you do a mass start with 100 riders. It's another thing to do it with complete amateurs and you've got thousands of riders. It's dangerous as all hell. I almost had 15 crashes in the first 2 kilometres of an event, because everyone's riding around chatting to their buddies and just swerving all over the place, banging handlebars. You got riders stupidly riding as fast as they can through to try and get further up the road. You got the motorbikes going through, you got the cars. So I was like, stuff that. Is it not worth the risk? So the next year I did the event, I turned up 10 minutes after the start, and I literally had the broom wagon behind me with the first 8 kilometres until we got to the first 800 metre climb, and then I just bruised my way past all the back markers because everyone had strung out. That was the best way to do the event. But I thought, what am I bothering to pay all that money for? It's great having the food stalls along the way, but if I do it without it, I'll just stop at a cafe. It was fun, but at the same time I was like, well, I've done this ride with my mates when there was no one else around, and the closed roads, they weren't really that much help. Still had idiots bypassing the closed roads. On the last, there was a neutral section after you do the last climb, because you do a 1,000 metre ascent, finish at the top, mountain top finish, but then you got to cruise back down the mountain to go back to the start finish line, to cross the start finish line to get your beacon or your timing chip to show that you've actually finished the ride. And it's a closed road on the descent. Some idiot went past me and another rider on the wrong side of the road around a blind turn, when there was literally an intersection after the turn, which they could have had to stop for us anyway. But there was a car coming around the corner about 2 seconds after it went the wrong side of the road around the corner. Almost killed the family in the car. It's like, this is ridiculous. Stuff doing organised events. There's no wonder in Australia, not sure it's like in England, but organised events are dying in the arse here in Australia. People just aren't turning up to them anymore. They've cancelled a few. It's just dangerous. Much better just to go and ride with a couple of your mates. Anyway, not to poo-poo over your 312. I was just thinking about that because I remember back to Piglet talking about it, and also Phil Lovett doing his video. Go back and watch it, Paul. Watch the first, I don't know, first 100 kilometres. He says the first half of it's great, second half it's boring as hell and you're just riding in the cow paddocks. But if that's the sort of thing you want to do, definitely go for it. Still, my greatest cycling adventure is going to Morocco and riding up the Atlas Mountains. It was pretty easy riding, like it was hard riding up the mountains, but I was with a tour group, so we had a four-wheel drive kitted out so that if we ever had any issues, they just chucked the bike in the four-wheel drive. It wasn't until the very last day that I got it punctured because I was being an idiot doing jumps over the stormwater drains near the last day, and I got a puncture, and then they pulled the tube off and I had like 15 repairs already on the tire. I was like, Jesus Christ. No wonder they were telling me to slow down on the descents, because you literally have 1,000 metre descent on gravel, winding switchbacks. You could see all the corners, so you don't have to worry about traffic coming the other way because you could see it. So I was flying down there, and they're getting cranky at me saying I better slow down because there's no hospital for 7 or 8 hours. I was young and dumb back then, but it was fantastic. Climbing up. The sky gets so blue when you get to those altitudes. Even during the middle of the day, and the moon's out, it's so bright. The air gets really thin. It takes a couple of days to get used to. But the thing about thin air is when you're cruising along on the flat, you get easily 3 or 4 kilometres an hour faster just from lack of wind resistance without hardly any effort. So even if you're on a mountain bike, it feels like you're riding on a road bike at the speeds that you can get on the flat. But I was with a group of my friends' dads, so I was like 20 years younger than the rest of them, and I'd been riding a bit. They were just casual. They do ride, but casually. So I'd cruise up the mountains, sit around for them for about 20 minutes, looking at the view. One of them had an electric bike, so sometimes I'd try and race him up the hills. He'd beat me, but then after a couple of days if he used up too much of his battery would run out before the end of the day. So he ended up backing off the pedals. Alright, I think that's me done. Alright, I better go. I haven't made it so usually I got all the buttons here I can just press, but I haven't opened up that system yet. I've got to work on creating a video about how to stream. Should I do that now? Nah, stuff it, I'll do it. I did that sticky watt video. A lot of people complained saying that, yeah, we already know that, but a lot of other people said it's just your pedals and your power meter does it, it's not, or your trainer. It's like, you guys, one group says they don't want to see it because they know exactly what it is. Another group says, my power meter doesn't do that, it's just your power meter. Another group says, well, you're riding a Dorito, so it's null and void. It was like, I can do it without the Dorito. So I'll do another video another day. What I'll do is I'll set up maybe 3 Zwift screens so you can see Amp Plus, Bluetooth power meter, and then the Dorito. And I'll go up a hill, pedal stop, pedal stop, pedal stop, pedal stop. Actually, I might just do that. I'll do that and ride. What time is it? 10:07. Yeah, I'll do that now. I won't do multiple screens. I'll just do a demonstration just quickly. I've got a couple of minutes before Whitney finishes. Save and exit. I better swap over. Come on, IndieVELO. Where's Zwift? Actually, I won't do it because I've actually, no, my Zwift doesn't run out yet, so I've still got my Zwift account. I was going to say I don't want to use up my free Zwift, but I've still got a couple of days. I think I cancelled it. Where is my Zwift? There we go. Oh, I've got to log in again. Don't look at my password. One, two, three, four, five, six. Actually, that's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or is it 888, or 88? I'm getting a cramp in my arm. Let's go. I want to go. What's going on? Why are you not doing anything, Zwift? Just because I've been bagging you out for a few days doesn't mean you can not work. Yeah, you should do it then, Paul. Because the thing is, if you don't do it, then you don't know what it's like. Get it done. Make sure you don't stress about the training. That's what a lot of people do, is they just absolutely stress about making sure they're super fit for the event. Reality is, you'll be fit enough to do the event now. You just got to be realistic when you're doing it. The worst thing you can do is do your training, or start doing training, and then feel guilty because you get sick or you miss certain key sessions, and then you just actually get depressed. Come on, Zwift, what are you doing? The lack of training makes you depressed, and then you don't do the training and you fall into a hole, and just mentally it scars you. Okay, so what I want is actually there we go, Acioma's Bluetooth. Don't really want resistance. Oh, I forgot. This could be interesting. It's only going up the hill. I forgot because I've been using virtual gears. I don't have shifters on my bike anymore, so I can't increase the resistance. Okay, so I'll use this. Should be alright because I go up a hill, aren't I? Everything else is fine. Okay. Brutes. Hilly route. I just want to go up the hilly com. There we go. Alright, start. It's been a while since I used Zwift. Maybe that's why it took ages to start, because it was updating. I got a little. Later on, I'll work on my animation for the little. Where's he going? This way. Oop, back again. I've got to make myself a little character that runs. Hey, I've forgotten what you look like. Okay, so I'll wait a sec. I'm not going to. I've only got 25 kilometers. I've got to use that for my testing. I don't think, or if I quit. Yeah, we'll just. That's just. I went to go and change gears. I'm going to change my resistance settings. Where's my menu? Settings. Trainer difficulty max. Maybe not max. I don't need fully max, do I? I'm not here to race. Can't really do many. I'm in the 39. What's that? 11, 12. 39, 15. So it's going to take a while to get to this hilly com. I should have just started up Where do you start Strappy Hill on this course? I don't know, Zwift. I don't subscribe. I'm a bit thirsty too. Don't know why I'm doing this. Let's change to my other iPad. Planes. Oh, I haven't got it connected, do I? Where's it? Which one is it? Is it this one? There we go. Got a power up. What's a power up? Someone in the chat let me know what a van does. Moving day. Is it a van or is it a burrito truck? God, it takes forever to go anywhere at 65 RPM. Maybe I should just sticky watt there. It's a lot better doing sticky watts there. So much faster. I love how my RPM, because the RPM's off my Dorito, isn't it? So it's all confused. I should probably change it to the Aciomas for the RPM just so it doesn't make it. I lose all my momentum though because it's not like IndieVELO. IndieVELO is so much better to change. Okay. Sticky watt bastard. Alright, back to the other screen. I've got a 9-day PR, so this is perfect. Or is it just for the hilly loop? How long has it been since I've done this climb? I'm in CCAT now, I think. I'm definitely in CCAT for the tiny races that were on, or that are on this weekend, because I've changed the criteria. Alright, let's do perceived effort. I'm not going to go stupid because already I'm stupid. I'm not going to go, oh that's trainer difficulties. Not going to help I think. Menu. Because it's already going to be spinning down on me. Okay, so perceived effort. I've got to stop pedaling rather than pedaling down easy. So it's my heart rate, 140. See if it stays around 140 for the whole climb. Must look so stupid seeing me sticky watt up this hill. I've got to start pedaling in about 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I didn't get a very good sticky one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Didn't pedal enough. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I've got to stop saying that because it's probably annoying the crap out of anyone watching. Called Sticky Zwift. Sticky Zwift. Got a little beret on, Peter. Forgot what those are. I swear the cycling dynamics isn't very good though. I didn't go anywhere then. Hey, Dabrowski. I was supposed to be doing this a bit more professionally, Peter. I was going to set up 3 screens, but I lost patience. Come on, Sticky, what? It's going to take forever to get up this hill if I do this with the Dorito. I'm definitely not going all the way up next time with a Dorito. I'm definitely just going to do same pedaling technique. I know the Dorito can get sticky watts occasionally. I want to see. I'm going to remember to keep pedaling after 3 seconds. It's not doing, I'm pedaling a little bit late I think, but I've got to stick to the formula, otherwise the test is null and void. So my heart rate stayed at 140 beats per minute mostly. Was that my personal best? I can't remember. The whole point was to try and get my, I assume it's a personal best. I didn't see a ghost. Alright, let's change the Dorito. Don't do that on me. Dorito's got crap cadence, but it doesn't matter about the cadence sensor. It's about the wattage. One of the things that people will notice is that the Dorito is very bad at going back to completely 0 watts. But the point of the video is not to show that Dorito's crap at 0 watts. It's to show all you haters there, Peter McNullen, about that I do make bad videos. Oh, I really need some water. Alright, I'm only going to go halfway up at the most, until it's pretty damn obvious that there's a lot worse. It is pretty slow, but I was only doing 140 beats per minute, Peter. I wasn't doing 180. Hey, who's that behind me? Is that you following me, Peter? Who is it? Oh, it's my old boss. I'll give him a ride on whilst I'm doing sticky watts. He's like, you cheat. Hey Phil, thanks for the ride on. Doesn't give me anything, no, does it? Because I'm not on Zwift anymore. I don't care about ride-ons. Send me cold hard cash so I can buy myself a new Di2 battery. I should actually spend my money on other stuff because I've got an expected baby. I don't want to go too much into that, but the baby's definitely not going full term, unfortunately. So I'm trying to distract myself the next few weeks. Alright, well, let's get this. Sticky watts won't get me any further. I only get 47 and 1 watt. Alright, so the same technique as before. I can even let myself do more than 140 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's actually not losing yet. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 1, 2, 3. So this is what 1, 2, 3. So you'll see the speed it goes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can keep up with it now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing 145 beats per minute now. 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm kicking at 600 watts. 1 to catch up. 3. 1, 2, 3. Because of the size of the spikes compared to the previous spikes. 1, come on. 1, 2, 3. So this is why I've got to use back to back, so you can have exactly the same pedals for each one, because you can see the massive difference in spikes. But I'm sure people won't see this if they don't believe there's a massive advantage. But if you're on the bike, you can feel it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, there was a couple of times I actually didn't get any watts at all on this bit up here. Alright, so I'll come back to this with 3 screens, so each pedal stroke will be for each account, because you can see that my heart rate was much higher, but it's not completely definitive for those. Yeah, you believe, though, Pete, you believe. You can see with the Dorito there is a slight bit of sticky, but not the same. Like, you can see how flat these bars are compared to these. So it's probably why people think that there's that advantage if you do the, what do they call it, sprint coast with trainers. But I'll be back with a different video where I've got all 3 pedaling at the same, well, pedaling the same pedaling for 3 accounts. Anyway, I've got to get old whipped again before I lose my 3 kilometers. How do I just, don't want to save, just quit, Control delete, task manager, quit Zwift. I don't want to save those pit files. Where's Zwift? Don't hide from his Zwift. There it is. And end task. There we go. Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone. See if I can not be back for a while to annoy you. Have a good weekend.